What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of I'm Out of My Element. The first episode was when we tried to MIG weld in the previous video. I'll link it up here. Haven't MIG welded in a really long time. Set up a new machine I got and did a little bit of welding. It's a little, could use some work. Today is gonna be even better though, because today we are going to not only MIG weld, but we're gonna MIG weld aluminum. And I've never done this before. I know you're normally supposed to have a spool gun, but we're just gonna do it with this old machine right here. This is the Blue Demon 140 MSI, and unfortunately for them, they are also the sponsor of this video, and if this doesn't work out, I'm definitely just gonna blame the welder, because there's no way it could be me. But yeah, thanks for Blue Demon for sponsoring this video. They're where I get all my filler metals from. I'll link them below. And yeah, let's figure this out. Okay, so right over here, I've got the machine sitting up on top of my TIG welder. Like I said, no spool gun, but just gonna run the aluminum through the lead here. This lead's about 6 feet long. And the reason I threw it up on top of the TIG welder is because I knew I was gonna need argon, and there happens to be some right here. So I'm gonna unhook this, make sure the bottle's off. I'm gonna unhook this from the TIG welder and hook it into the back of the MIG welder. Okay, next we obviously have to put some aluminum in it, and I have some 5356 from Blue Demon because I was told it has a better chance of actually making it all the way through the line without getting all bunched up. The wire that's in here is really dark because I was messing with some flux core welding, so that's why it looks a little different. Look how pretty this is. Okay. I would think with aluminum it's probably even more important not to get any kinks in the wire. Okay, now hopefully I'm ready to feed the wire all the way through. I'm trying to hold the lead out so it's got like a nice big loop. There it is. Okay, now we can turn our bottle on. I have no idea where to run the gas at. We're right around 20 right there. Don't know if that's right or not. Okay, now the fun part. We should be ready to go. I've got some little scraps here. These are just laser cut drops that I chopped up. They're about 90 thousandths thick. And I have some small ones over here. Gonna start off with. See if we can get it dialed in with these little pieces. It's important to keep the lead straight and no big kinks or anything like that. This one's kind of short, which helps and hurts that. It helps it because it doesn't have far to travel, and it hurts it as in like there's not a lot of room to leave like a big loop. Okay, so that one, really black. The weld's not too bad. Does look like I need more penetration. I'm gonna try the welder out in the automatic synergize mode because I got it turned up pretty high, so maybe my volts weren't high enough. And then I don't know if I need more or less gas. Let's try it before, just like this before we adjust the gas. Okay, it looks to me like it's burning up the wire so fast. So that would mean I need more wire speed, I guess? So let's try it wide open. I don't think that was right. Okay, that was apparently way too much amperage. So, and I still think I need more gas. So I'm gonna turn the gas up. Gonna go back into manual so we can keep, I'm gonna try it with the wire speed up and just turn the volts down. And I'm gonna go up with the volts a little bit. Okay, still a little dark. I'm honestly not sure if that's normal. The weld looks fine, it's just not penetrating. So I noticed that moved. Yeah, now I can't twist it. Before, when I twisted this, I noticed this in my other videos. This whole thing would spin, then the inside part was loose. So wish I would have fixed that in the other videos. Still pretty dirty. Oh, we might be getting somewhere. Wonder if more is better. Let's try it. I'm assuming even in MIG welding aluminum, it's still finicky and likes to be clean. So we're gonna wipe them down and see if we can fuse a couple of them together. What I've learned so far, you have to run higher Argon Flow than you do when you're TIG welding. I'm up around, like in the 40s. Someone's gonna tell me that's wrong, but that seems to be what's working best. And you don't wanna run the welder in automatic mode because I have the amperage wire speed cranked all the way up. That way I get enough speed of the wire, but I have my volts turned down. And every time I turn it into automatic is when that one time when I fuse the wire right to the tip. I think just because it cranks the volts so high. I think I need more penetration. I guess I could try slowing down. Not very pretty. Let's give it a little strength test. I mean, it's pretty strong. Like, yeah, I mean, it's got penetration, even though it looks like it's just sitting on top. Okay, too much Voss does not work. Okay, believe it or not, whoa, I almost fell out my chair. Believe it or not, I think I'm getting the hang of it. That time, at the very end of the last weld, I noticed when I decreased my distance, my wire stick out, that helped a ton. So we're gonna try going super close on this one. That was it. Okay, I'm well aware that it's not perfect, but I've seen a lot of aluminum MIG welds and they never look great to me. This looks on par for me. I mean, for the very first one that I actually got to lay down successfully. The only difference from this weld to this was that I preheated the metal with a torch and I didn't even hit it for long, just getting it hot. I noticed that I needed more penetration, but every time I increased the volts, it would just start burning and balling the wire up. It's like it couldn't handle it. So I needed more heat in the part. That's why I preheated the aluminum, and that was the ticket. I have enough parts for one more. So let's try it one more time. Maybe we can get a nice, clean looking weld the whole way across and finish this video out. I can honestly say I've never preheated 90 thousandths sheet metal before I welded it. This is new. I've also never MIG welded aluminum, so. Well guys, I'm really happy with the progress that we made. I think the second to the last one actually looks better than that last one. That last one, I did more of a circular pattern, trying to get it to have a nice arc on the back edge, and I think I built up too much material. But, I mean, we went from never MIG welding aluminum before and honestly looking like we've never done it before to coming down with something reasonably middle of the road presentable, I would say. But, I mean, just in that short amount of time. Like, this is all the practice beads right here. I did no more than that. So, you know, double that time and we'd be even better. Biggest takeaway from this was to preheat the metal. Because you do want all that wire speed and you don't want a lot of voltage melting the wire, you need to get the metal hot before you start welding. Now, there are people out there who can make a pretty nice looking aluminum MIG weld. It looks pretty close to some of the really nice MIG welds you see on steel. I would say not quite as nice, but it gets there if you know what you're doing. But in my opinion, it's never gonna look as good as TIG. So why would you aluminum MIG weld? Well, a big one would be is if it's all you have is a MIG welder. As far as I know, every machine is capable of aluminum MIG welding. You still weld in DC. You don't need AC for MIG welding. That's a key factor. You just need some argon. And if you have a bigger machine, you might need a spool gun, and that's gonna help you not kink up the aluminum wire in the line. That is why they use spool guns. That's why I didn't have to, because this lead is so short, but you can build up aluminum shavings inside that lead if you do this a lot on these kind of machines. That's why a dedicated aluminum spool gun is the best if you're gonna be doing a lot of it. So that would be reason number one. Reason number two would be just for time. I know Featherlight, they make aluminum, really nice trailers. They make a lot of the semi-trailers that the NASCAR haulers use. And all their aluminum ones are MIG welded. And as far as I know, maybe they do some TIG welding, but that's just for speed. They want to build them out of aluminum to have them light, and they need to build them fast, and they don't need nice, pretty welds up under the trailer in all the spots that you're not gonna see, even though their welds do look really nice. But you know what I mean. That's the TIG MIG thing. Those trailers would probably take you 4 or 5 times as long if you're trying to TIG weld them all. Like, that's the difference. But yeah, I hope this was a good overview. Like I said, I'm not an expert in this, and I try to let you know when I'm just messing around, goofing off, experimenting, taking you along. Hopefully we can both learn something along the way together. There are more fabrication related topics like TIG welding and a lot of stuff I've done in my past that I do feel more confident. I wouldn't say playing an expert role, but definitely giving like some hard, fast, this is what I know works, versus like stuff like this where I'm just learning like you might be. But that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for Blue Demon for sponsoring. If you guys need to pick up any filler metals for your shop, stuck in the house, low on supplies, you can order it right from Blue Demon. I'll leave a link down below. If you want to see more MIG welding aluminum related content, let me know down in the comments. I'll try to gather as much knowledge as I can from people who are more well-versed in this and share it the best I can with you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, I hope you stick around and subscribe. If you hit the little bell next to the video, you get a notification every time a video comes out. You don't have to. I appreciate you being here all the way to the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.